Oh yeah,
I know say he dey for me. Yeah, every day he dey get a for me. Baba, yeah. Unto Baba God I pray. Yeah, for the blessings every day. So nobody go fi touch me. Yeah, he be my provider. I don't care when them throw fire. I know say them go do tire. I no fear cause I spit fire. I don't conquer, he be my provider. I don't care when them throw fire.
My name is SONOH. Welcome to Waves Lab Recording Studios. Come make a program. Here is SONOH. Welcome to Waves Lab Recording Studios. We're in the studio right now. See, here is my keyboard. You can see my monitor here, my speakers. That's where the sound come from. That we Rocket 5 KRK. Yeah, the sound card is here, and you can see my microphone, the headsets. Basically that's it. Okay, I started a music production somewhere in 2016. It was more like, I remember I didn't actually grow up wanting to be a music producer, but it came along the way. I remember sometimes we listen to music, and then my problem was sometimes you hear some song and you ask yourself, why did the engineer allow the song to come out of the studio? So that's where I started my love for music production. You know, I wanted to know why. What is the main reason why some songs come out of the studio? You know, so I mean, with low quality, if I may put it that way, or let's say, it doesn't sound very nice. And that's when I started learning. You know, I started wanting to be a music producer. Okay, my first break, if I may put it, I actually started working with, you know, big artists, but it wasn't on my instrumental. So for recording, mixing and mastering, my breakthrough would be maybe working with the likes of Samini, Jupiter. But in terms of instrumental, my first instrumental that made a lot of people, or made me known to the industry, would be Agweshi's Original. Maybe followed by Jupiter's Anytime. I remember To the Morgue and Your Mother by Mr. Logic. Those were my first breakthrough songs. Pharrell Williams, and then Don Corleone, and I'll add Brainy Beat, who happened to be my godfather. He taught me everything I know in music production. Shout out to Brainy Beat. I started, I do, but I spend most of my time in the studio recording artists. So most of my work starts from, or spring from, vibing in the studio. You know, somebody will freestyle something to inspire me. Yeah, and some other times too, it just happen like that. You know, you have some rhythm in your mind. It can be drums. It can also be, keys. So when the melody comes or the groove comes, you enter the studio and you start working. So that's how I work basically. There are some artists I hit up, or sometimes I will play my instrumental and feel like, oh, this artist can actually, do justice to this instrumental. If it is an artist I'm not very close to, or I'm not like that, we haven't worked before, I don't mind entering their DM, sending them a message on IG or wherever. Or if I happen to know somebody that knows the artist, I'll hit the person up and be like, okay, I would love to work with this artist. Can you actually bring him to the studio or link him to me? That's how we collaborate. Some other times, to artists, reach out to me, kick it. One thing, actually, I work, or most of my works I love different sound. I love different sound. So one of the things that, or one of the techniques I use is recording sound, the surrounding. You know, sometimes I may be outside vibing and hear some frog or something making some noise, and I'll just decide to record it. Though it always gives some refreshing, it always take your production out of the norm, and it makes it different. So those are one of my techniques I use. Yeah, for the tools too, I mean, reverb. The reverb, if you like, you love, I mean, sweet sound, reverb should be one tool. It's not a secret though. Acknowledgement, you work on projects. Some of us are not very, vocal, and we tend to hide from the camera. So sometimes you work and you expecting acknowledgement, you will never get it. Especially if you haven't produced it, or you are not a producer of the instrumental. As a recording artist, a recording engineer, a mixing engineer, or a mastering engineer, sometimes you don't get the credit we deserve unless you come out yourself to claim that, okay, I did this and I did that particular song. You don't get to be acknowledged. But yeah, I understand that, as human beings, we can't think the same. So when you have that understanding, I think it's enough. You understand and also have a listening ear. You are not always right, so pay attention to whatever they are saying. Even if you are not choosing their solution, listen to their complaints, and that's how you manage creative differences. Yeah, I did this project some years ago, 2017, with an artist, actually a Jamaican producer, started the project, and I have to record the vocals and send. Sometimes you work, music is art. You think something is good, and another person thinks it's bad, especially if you are from, different, or you are not from the same culture, you don't have the same cultural background. We recorded the song and we sent the vocals, and I remember the Jamaican guy couldn't tell the artist, I don't like what you did. So he told him that, oh, he has an issue with his studio, which means the studio was burned down, and now he has to start all over from scratch. So the guy should find a producer to mix and master the song. And this is a song that it was a project that was supposed to release, with a deadline. And imagine not being in the mood and working on something with deadline. And this guy brought a song, I think, a day before the deadline, and I had to work through it. God being so good, it was done, and the song even went ahead winning an award. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges I had. Yeah, technology is available for everyone who really want to. And what do you know if you learn every day? So we try to be updated, to keep their YouTubes, their other online courses, and then even peer-to-peer. You hit up your brother, oh bro, here's this, or what new trick do you have, or blah blah blah. Or some also collaborate with other producers and artists. You learn from each other. Make sure you listen a lot. That's it. And be updated. Be on social media. Make sure you are using your time wisely. Get me? Be on social media. Be on YouTube. And learn more. That's how we keep it. Changes. I won't say I've been here long enough to experience some serious change, because I think it's the same generation from 2016 till now. But you can't undermine also the changes, and then how fast things are changing. As you are saying, now we have AI mastering and all that. So those are differences. And then another thing is collaboration. How to get artists to collaborate with them and all that, because almost everybody has a studio now. And so I think those are 2016. Yeah, it wasn't that much, though a lot of people were acquiring and then setting up studios, but it's not like now. I think that's the major change right now in the music industry. The business aspect is still learning. It hasn't really changed. it is what it is. Just that people are now getting to understand and then know where and then the direction is taken. Okay, a project that is out and that I'm also proud of the yet Kevin Boy provider. Yeah, that project actually opened a lot of doors for me, and as at that time, me coming up and then getting to work with artists like Kevin Boy as at that time, and then how the song came about, and the doors and then the opportunities that that song gave me. I think that's a song I'm very much proud of worked on. I go out a lot. When so almost every time there's something new. Almost every time I enter the studio, I don't spend all my time in the studio. I go out, I walk around, I listen, I get to network and all that. So I think that helps me a lot. My goals, I want to actually, because I've had the chance to work with a whole lot of artists, especially underground with my rhythm concept, Brainy and I, release rhythms almost every time. It gives opportunity to up and coming artists to come and work. So I think that thing actually opened my eye to the number of talent we have here that are hearing. The number of unheard artists, the number of talents that are really stuck underground that just need a listening here. So my goals is to try or to become a platform that, or let's say to create a platform that will actually bring those or some of those artists out. Yeah, so that's my goal. The role will still remain, very important, because as the internet is coming, people are now talking about AI, using AI and all sort of technology to create music. But I think the if someone is able to conceive or think about bringing or creating a software that will create or bring music, that person definitely has a music mind, and those are people I qualify as music producers, or they can't do it without involving music producers. So how music production is going to evolve, I think it will definitely, or it's evolving, and it will definitely get to a different dimension. Where maybe as a music producer, you have to also have an IT mind to be able to have your things, bring your ideas out. It shouldn't only be about producing, playing your piano, doing the instrumental. It should also be about involving yourself in the business aspect, and then involve yourself in bringing up ideas that will make things easier for both musicians and then producers. My legacy is something I'm actually working towards. Is for a lot of artists to be like, okay, through SONOH or through SONOH's platform, this is where I've gotten to, or this is what I've been able to make with my talent. That's the legacy I want to leave in the music. The producer that helped a lot of artists see their dream come true. Because studio almost every time, a funny moment where again, maybe it will be Samini. Samini is one very funny man when he's in the studio. Sabini and then Disciple. So he came and then we were working on, I was recording Disciples at that time. And when he entered, he started, So he will always crack jokes, and then that thing he said for him was a joke, but it's something that got into disciples' head and it nearly killed his career. This guy spent more than a month. He didn't come to the studio. Somebody that thinks that he is the ragadon, the dancer, emperor or so. And then all of a sudden your godfather will come and be like, Killer, you don't understand Patois. So for sure. This guy spent close to 1 month, didn't come to the studio. So I have to call him and be like, Killer, why? I see you keep it. Why you don't want to come to the studio? Say, oh, you don't see what your father do to me. Before they tell you, I say, oh, Charlie, they be jokes. So, these are some of the things. And I think that was discouraging him, but in a way, it's also served as an inspiration for him to go and learn, or to be sure that the patois he was speaking was actually cool. You get me? So those are one of the memorable and funny moments in the studio. Anytime when I'm not working on music and I spend time with family, or maybe I did some business meeting, the business meeting, those are, I won't call them free time, but those are the things I do when I'm not in the studio or I'm not working on music. I'm going with any artists as in every artist or singing or a singer. Okay. Pass of Dasibre Gamma. Yeah. Pass of present. Say Dasibre Gamma. Which is not possible. It's still possible anyway because he has songs out there. So we will remix or we will redo some of his songs. Yeah. Present. I would love to work with Chronix on Proto G. Yeah, from them. I write music for a lot of artists, and then some wouldn't. It's all deal. Some will make me mention their names, yeah, and others too. I work with Juppy, collaborated on songs, yeah. Samini himself, Actually, songwriting, what a lot of people don't know is you come from home with your song, and by the time you leave the studio, it's a whole different thing. You get me? It's not. So a lot of producers these days, and I think if you want to go far in this music industry as a producer, you need to be a very good writer. To be able to help your artists and all, and make yourself some extra cash as well. Yeah, so as I said, I've collaborated with Jupiter, Samini, Disciple, Scenario, Zizi, name them, Gigabit, Susmao from Burkina Faso, Sofiano from Burkina Faso, Sam Simba, Togo, and the list goes on. Yeah. Top 5 artists. I would love to work with Safari. Yeah, I would love to work with Safari. I had the chance to work with at least some of them. So those, I will just mention those I will work with. I would love to work with Safari. Okay, Chronix, I've already mentioned Chronix. Proto J, I would love to work with Proto J. And then Pharrell Williams, I would love to work with him. And then Usiu of Senegal. Those are artists I would love to work with. I've mentioned 4. Okay, 5th, then I'll add Selif Keita. Alright, so my advice for aspiring producers would be what? Keep learning, and then keep upgrading your skills. Learn from every source you can think of. You can go on YouTube. There are a whole lot of tutorials and videos about music production and all that. Also, don't forget to learn the business part, because that's very important. Learn as you are learning the production, the technicalities. Make sure you learn the business side, and as I said earlier, listen a lot, because the core element of our job as a music producer is listening, is the hearing. So make sure you listen a lot. Listen to your artists, listen to music, a lot of music, and keep improving. Yeah. So keep listening and watching out for my music. This is SONOH, and it has been a Soundscape session.